This is the Gamer Brews one.
Yeah. Okay, so the new raid has 11 bosses. Anduin is the 8th named character. During the opening week, you get up to Anduin. Okay, so it's basically the final little bit is its own thing. I'm happy enough with that. You see,
that's good. Yeah.
Where time gating is an issue is when it feels like you're unnecessarily throttled. Or, it feels very arbitrary, like with how the Covenant campaign steps felt. But I suppose... I think it could work out. Work out just fine. If it actually means that they tell their narrative, properly for once, right, and they can actually tell a proper story through the raid, then I'll be happy with it because I think things like that are underappreciated.
Yep. It's weird because, time gating a raid, but then you look at the people who are going to just want a raid, and this is going to be frustrating for them.
That's true.
So that's where you have this problem where optimal story is... Well, okay, maybe time gating it by a week's a bit interesting. But no matter what you do, if you put any blockage in that process of start raid, finish raid, then everyone's going to be, that'll work for a lot of people experientially, but it's going to be shit for people who just want to sit down and raid. And there's no way around that. That is literally just a problem you have to face up. You have to just face it head on and go for it. So I think it's, given how much they, make a lot of, well, not all the time, but how they make some problems, for us and for the average player, instead of, letting these raiders and pure gameplay people have all of the, the good stuff. It's interesting that they are kind of going back on that and going, no, we've made a decision. That's our decision. It's final. Oh, we'll see. We'll see what backlash happens and if they go back on that. But I do think it's a surprisingly brave choice from them.
Yeah. We don't know what the first one's intentions are. We're just trying to protect this land from the jailer. This is the exact reason that Shadowlands writing is horrible, because there's literally no point for the Champions Azeroth to be doing what they're... Well, it's just that thing where it all just feels like stuff. Just a sort of a big tide of concepts and things.
Interesting. Yeah, here's something on PvP from the Gamer Brave interview that Dakar just sent me a screenshot of. So this is closing thoughts from Morgan Day. I love PvP, and we had reintroduced Conquest and Shadowlands for players to buy their gear. As Conquest became more exciting for players and more wanted to get engaged in PvP, we often get a request about queuing for rated PvP solo. That has many challenges, but we're introducing a new PvP brawl with the Eternity's End update as our take on what solo queue in World of Warcraft could look like. It's called Solo Shuffle, and we want players to give us feedback and see if it's a feature we can permanently add. The idea is that we take 6 players, throw them in a pool, and then have them fight in 3v3 arena matches in every possible combination. The one with the best rating at the end essentially wins.
Whoa.
And we think that's a unique solution instead of coming up with a matchmaking system that can understand meta group compositions. We think it's going to be fun and create opportunities for interesting social interactions. And I'm like, yeah, shit, that actually sounds... Obviously, I'm no big PvPer, but in terms of the easy fix, wasn't available, because just turn on solo introduces more problems.
Yeah.
So they sat down and went, let's think outside the box and solve a problem.
Yeah, no, that's an interesting way to do it, so fair enough.
Yeah, also, I see someone say same as Lost Ark, so maybe they haven't thought that far outside of the box, but at the same time, that's still a cool idea. And there's some closing thoughts from Steve as well, which is I'm excited to see the threads coming out together throughout Warcraft history, and I hope the conclusion will be satisfying. Not sure about that. Things don't simply end after defeating a raid boss. There's the campaign, the story within the raid, the epilogue after the end of the raid. There's some pretty epic conclusions waiting for you which way you engage with the story. Which is a bit weird.
Interesting. Okay, no, genuinely interesting. I'll take him in that. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Look, my thing here with Shadowlands story is what certainly pissed me off is they've not actually spent enough time telling their damn story. And that's what's got me. Like, they've spent lots of time telling stories. It's just not the A-plot of the expansion. And the A-plot is that triad of characters they talked about. And that's, I think why a bunch of these things have kind of fallen flat on people. Yeah. But in this raid, if they're going to actually do a story leading up to the raid, the story of the first bit of the raid, a story after the first bit of the raid, then the end of the raid, big finale there. and then more story after that, more big conclusions, and they actually spend the time to tell that story in game, that is what they did not do in 9.0. It is what they did not do in 9.1. If they do that in 9.2, then that is a really good thing. So I'm very happy to hear Steve say that. Very happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.